Hey everyone, we have a serious DEF problem and DEF sensor problem. And you say, what is that? It is a component in trucks that makes trucks stop working. This is an issue in Korea, Australia, the European Union, and the United States. And they all regulate one very simple thing, that it's supposed to spew a bunch of diesel exhaust fluid, DEF, into the exhaust trail. And if it stops doing that, the DEF sensor shuts the truck down. And you say, well, okay, what's this diesel exhaust fluid? It's made up primarily of urea, which is in shortage right now because China stopped exporting it. So all the trucks could stop working. Yes. Yes. Is it a critical thing in the engine? Nope. But the EPA and other affiliated terrorists around the world linked these systems directly into the trucks to make sure that the trucks couldn't operate without them. Can they be worked around? Some vehicles, some farm equipment, yeah, but they've been making it harder and harder to do these bypasses over the years. And so now we have a DEF shortage, and we also have a DEF chip shortage. So let's get into that. Welcome back to Poplar Preparedness, and I appreciate you guys being on board. This is a story that has been flying beneath the radar. I haven't really seen anyone else reporting in the preparedness type community, but it's being discussed a lot in the trucking communities. It's being discussed a lot in the environmental protection people. It's being talked a lot about in logistical networks. There is a serious shortage of urea-based diesel exhaust fluid. It's hard to say that. Diesel exhaust fluid. And in Australia in the last couple days, they've started to panic. Yeah. They've started to panic because this is a serious issue. Now that these sensors are tied in to the engines, that basically it turns the engines into being only able to go 5 miles per hour if the sensors don't like what's going on. And if you don't have the DEF to put into the truck, your trucks turn into a fleet of lawnmowers, riding lawnmowers. And that's not how we move product around Australia, Korea, the EU, the United States. We need real trucks that can actually go highway speeds, right? Not 5 miles per hour. So we're seeing this issue cropping up. It's really starting to hit the fan over in Australia because they get their almost all their urea straight from China, and they haven't gotten any, and they are running out. And they're like, what are we going to put in our tanks? Because we need that in order for the sensors to be happy. In Korea, same thing. They get most of their urea once again from China, and they haven't been getting that from China. So how do they keep their trucks running? In the United States right now, no, it doesn't seem like anyone's like panicking about the DEF shortage just yet. What we're panicking about right now is the fact that we have a DEF sensor issue in the United States. Have you heard about this? As one Republican said, advocating for the EPA to do some fixes, they said up to 10,000 trucks in the United States each day are put to halt because their DEF sensors are going haywire. Even though there's DEF in the system, the DEF sensor doesn't recognize that, and the DEF sensor is turning the truck into a glorified riding lawnmower. And 10,000 trucks per day? That's a lot of trucks. And we're not talking about cheap trucks. We're talking about $100,000+ rigs that you need to be moving to make back the money that people borrowed to buy these things. So the issue there is that they can't just replace the sensors because there's a chip shortage. And so there's a shortage of replacement DEF sensor chips to replace them with. So if they can't get a replacement chip, the EPA is working on a workaround so that they can kind of work without this. But you take that issue and then you compound it with the fact that we're also going to have a serious shortage of DEF solution itself. Now, I know some of you are going to get in the comments and go, well, you can do this to make DEF solution. You can make your own DEF solution. We can figure out how to make all this. The trucks in the United States use an awful lot of this stuff, okay? And I know farmers can maybe just jury rig something, or farmers can make a urea solution. But when we're talking at this scale, no, we need major factories producing this because it's a lot. We need a lot of it. We don't need some of it. We don't need a few guys making some in their backyard. We need major manufacturing plants making this stuff in order for the sensors around the country and in the EU and other countries for them to be happy. Now, I didn't look in all the countries that have these sensors, but I'd say it's probably safe to say that Canada is probably on board with this, and probably a bunch of other countries too that I didn't list. So if your country's on board with this environmentalist stuff and requiring this and putting sensors in vehicles and making sure that the vehicles don't work unless they have all this stuff, you can let us know what country it is, and I'm sure there are a lot of countries, let's just say it that way, a lot of countries are looking like they're going to have a very serious problem. Now, it's possible that they could just go in and just deactivate these sensors one after the next and just take all the sensors offline. I don't know what would be involved in doing that. I don't know if any EPA officials will actually allow that to happen, or rather they just like to watch all the trucks come to a halt instead because they hate commerce and they hate capitalism and they hate trucks and they hate you and they hate me, and they just want us all to go away because they think that humanity is a virus upon the earth. So this is something to start looking for. Like I said, in the last few days, Australia has suddenly started to panic over this. Korea has started sort of to panic over it, but we haven't seen us take off to 11 in the United States and other places yet. But it looks like that may happen, unless there's some other supplies of where the United States and the EU get urea from. I don't know, but I am hearing from the things I've read that the DEF tanks are empty in some of these countries where they normally have a whole bunch of it stockpiled. It's disappearing rapidly. So the holes on your store shelves are one thing, but the DEF holes could mean holes in everything across our country and the other countries. So I just wanted to bring you that update. You can look into it yourself. There's going to be links to articles down below, and you've been seeing a few up here. But just what would it look like if all the trucks stopped running? What would it look like if 10% of the trucks stopped running in the United States or the European Union or wherever else? The supply chain's already stretched, ready to snap. If something like this comes along and gives you a shove, you almost kind of wonder if this is China giving it the shove, because they produce so much of the world's urea and suddenly they stopped exporting it. Just stopped. And people mostly been looking at this from the fertilizer angle, which is important, which is very important. That's a huge thing. But if the trucks stop running, it doesn't matter if the farmers keep farming. Because if the farmers keep farming and the trucks stop running, The food just stays in the field and rots, and nothing happens, and it's as if the crops never got grown. All right, that's what I have for you today. Not great news. It's a storm brewing on the horizon. Or if you're in Australia, it's a storm starting to rain on you. But do what you got to do. Keep stocking food. Keep getting more prepared. Keep getting more self-sufficient, okay? The more you can become more self-sufficient, the less dependent you are upon the grid. All right. God bless you. Steve Poplar, out.